What's up, guys? This is Krysta Jones, and I got Miss Leena today. What's up, Miss Leena?
Hey.
And we're here on the Tea with THC, and we're just getting a little inside scoop on Miss Leena's life, And we've been working together and have had a pleasure to travel together and do a lot of things. So I'm really looking forward to catching up and catching everyone up on the things. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. I'm so thankful to be able to be on this call. So thank you, Krysta, the THC girls. I was very excited to be able to do the tea with THC. So a little bit about me. I'm Hey Miss Leena on social media, and I'm here in New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl, born and bred, and I'm here as a territory sales manager right now for the Garden Society. We have garden gummies, soon to be pre-rolls, garden pre-rolls here in New Jersey. And I also represent a brand called Terp X. They offer vapes and concentrates in the market.
That's super cool. And you have your hands in a lot of, little brands. I would say, tell everybody kind of how you manage that and how you're able to facilitate, you have a good distribution system, I think, so can you share with everybody a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've been with this brand just since October. The amazing part is the Garden Society is actually women-owned, women-led brand. They've been in existence for 10 years now, mostly out in California. They're in Massachusetts as well. But the biggest deal is they also partner with a larger brand, and that allows us a bigger distribution footprint channel. So we partner with Kiva. And for those of you who may not know, Kiva creates or manufactures Camino gummies and Lost Farm gummies, which are probably the number 2, 3 gummy in the market in the country. And so we partner with them. And so we have a very large footprint already here in New Jersey via the Camino rep. But it's now my goal and my job to bring our own brand to the masses. So that's what I've been doing here in Jersey for just the last couple of months. So I'm new with Garden Society. And so if you are in New Jersey and you have not seen them yet, holler at me because they're coming.
Hell yeah. No, for sure. Definitely. And you've been helping them grow really rapidly. I would say you've been over delivering on some moves, right? Tell us what you're doing. Yeah.
Yes,
Tell us what you're doing.
Well, one of the things is, again, because we already kind of have a large distribution footprint, that still doesn't mean it's an automatic yes, right? So one of the things that I've personally been doing to grow this brand is really trying to connect with the people at the stores, right? All of the dispensaries is about 280, maybe 290 right now in New Jersey. More than half of them are independent, meaning they are a single owner operated, maybe a family, maybe a couple groups of people got together. So building relationships is the most ultimate thing that I can do and that I am doing. So I'm reaching out to these stores. I'm finding out what is it that they need, and I'm trying to be a resource.
That's awesome. I think that's the biggest, that's what everybody needs in this industry, right? It's a tough industry. So having the right resources, having the right connections means everything. And like you said, having a horizontal market instead of a vertical market, like Florida, where there's a lot of restrictions, you can't really build that rapport and those relationships here as well, right? So It's crucial in somewhere like Jersey, New York, Oregon, and all these other markets that have a horizontal market, that you have these relationships and that you feed into them, right?
Absolutely. It's about being a good partner, right? The stores have a job to do, but the brands also have a job to do. And so if we work together, we really can make an impact. I find that one of the biggest things that I'm especially Q1, Q2, as we're kind of going out, we're also rolling out a new product soon. Yes, that's going to be very exciting. So, again, finding those opportunities to have a community event that doesn't just involve the cannabis world, right? People are living out in this world. I know a lot of people who are like me out here who enjoy a gummy, who enjoy a pre-roll, but aren't like in the industry. They're not in the culture. They're just people, right? Just living their lives, who are always, they're looking for alternatives to alcohol. They're looking for alternatives to opioids and other pharmaceuticals. And everybody's kind of on this wellness journey as well. I think, 2025 got us somewhere into a mental space. And so going into 2026, we really are looking, and people are looking for peace. They're looking for wellness. They're looking for positive vibes. And I just believe cannabis provides all of that in the right format, or in the right space, or in the right medium, right? Everybody doesn't like to smoke, and that's why gummies are great, or topicals, or some people would rather vape, and they want to be discreet. So there's a lot of opportunities for growth, in opportunities for stores to have growth. And I think it all comes down to really putting out your best foot forward, building that relationship, going out into the places where everybody else is already, and connecting. And so that is absolutely what we're doing.
That's awesome. That's super cool. And so having a little bit of insight, since you move product and you go from store to store, what do you see? A lot of people think that we're just getting crazy money in this industry, that there's, money coming out of our ears and nose and eyes. And that's just, that's not the case, right?
No, absolutely is not the case. It is very interesting to me. The general public doesn't really understand at all the restrictions that are on cannabis businesses. And one of the major restrictions is advertising and marketing. I don't think people realize that cannabis businesses and brands, so the store or the brand, we really don't have a place to put our stuff out there and tell the world about it without being shut down on Instagram or any of the social media platforms. And even just in townships, different townships here in New Jersey really regulated the rules and things. So some towns you can have a sign that actually says dispensary on your building. Some towns you can't. So how are you supposed to get a new person in your door if they can't even tell that that's what the store is? Not alone, now they're in the store, what brand do they get? There's 50, 60, 70 brands. How do you even know? And so that is one of the biggest challenges that I don't think the general public even understands. And when you talk about that and you think about how many people walk through your door a day that, okay, they already knew who you were, they've been there before, so that's a good chunk, but brand new for the first time, a CVS, a Rite Aid, a pizza shop, you've had marketing, you've had all kinds of advertising driving people to your store. Cannabis doesn't have that. So that is super impactful when it comes to revenue, right? Somebody's got to pay the bills. Somebody's got to keep the lights on. The rent is due, the employees' salaries, none of that is tax deductible like a regular business. And so, yes, cannabis businesses, especially the retail brick and mortars, struggle 100%. I don't quite honestly don't know how anybody is really making it, to be honest, because like I just said, and you see sales when you do walk into a door, it's your first time, you get 30% off. Who do you think covers that 30%, right? Is it the brand? Is it the store? Hopefully it's a combination of both. So for some, good brands, we really do try to give some discounts to help the store give discounts to the customer. But yeah, money is very, very tight in this industry, and people are not, what is it? The duck, right? Remember the duck with he's jumping on the money piles in the cartoon. What is this, millionaire duck? I don't remember. Anyway, it's not like that. There definitely is a struggle. You have to be very careful about your margins. And you have to be really careful too about the brands you put on your shelves, because your money is tied up in that inventory wise. So if it's not moving, then you're not going to be on those shelves long, and your customers will have less variety. And they may fall in love with a brand that they love and it really works well for them. But if that store can't keep that brand in stock, they're going to go somewhere else. So it's a lot of moving pieces. And I think, people say, is the market saturated? Oh, there's 290 dispensaries. How many liquor stores are there?
Every corner.
how many Rite Aids are there? I mean, and we see them going out of business right now like crazy. Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, right? All these brick and mortars are sitting empty. So that's a sign, retail is retail. Retail margins are tight, I think, across the board in any industry, but very specifically in cannabis too.
Yeah, it's been watching it over the last couple of decades, it's been hard to see just the spread is just sometimes not worth it these days in certain markets, to really, have good talent in the space, and then it just, it shifts gears of the business models and the production and all the things that are coming out that we all work so hard for.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so with that being said, what did you do before you jumped in the industry? What Tell us a little bit about Miss Leena.
So, hey, Miss Leena. By the way, on social media right now, on Instagram, hey, Miss Leena. Anyway, I've done a few things in my lifetime. To be transparent, I do have some degrees. I have a
Ooh.
bachelor's in elementary education, a minor in English as a second language, and math. So I used to teach middle school math for quite a while. And then I moved into teaching some tech pieces. I left teaching school because I was done kind of with the whole kid thing, and I wanted to really work with grown-ups and adults and, people who wanted to learn theoretically. And so I moved on to teaching some software, and I got into like job costing and really like that behind the scenes business information about, just because you bought it at $10 and sold it at 20 doesn't mean you made $10 profit, right? Like there are a lot of moving pieces also. So I learned a lot about that for my tech time. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I just fell in love with being in the cannabis space and sequentially lost my job because I was in the cannabis space, right? Kind Kush, not
That's
Kind Kush,
crazy.
sorry, that's a store here. KushCon. We went to KushCon, do you remember, in Tampa?
Yeah.
We weren't together really as part of the THC girls at that point, but I already knew you and I saw you, and that I was with V, the traveling writer,
Yeah.
doing some brand ambassadoring. That's really where my kind of cannabis world brand ambassador started. Being able to talk to a crowd, that's easy for me.
But you do very well.
I take that back to teaching though, right? I had 30 little people in a room. I had to keep their attention. So I learned how to do that. And so brand ambassadoring was kind of the next awesome, cool thing where I could just talk about cannabis, talk to people, build connections, build rapport. I feel like I do have a bit of a skill in building rapport. People feel real comfortable talking to me a lot of times. And so that skill transferred over. I also am in insurance. So I am insurance licensed up. So I have my health, my life, my property and casualty in a couple different states, Jersey and Florida. And then I also do merch. So Ned, I got into doing merch. Again, swag, they kind of all wrap together, right? Supporting a brand, being able to show up with some brand swag, like everybody calls it. So I wanted to make swag too. So that's a little side hustle. MoxieNet is great though. I can make swag for lots of things, customized items, things like that. So I think, all of those things put me into a great position to be able to do sales. And so in New Jersey last year, I did start at a dispensary. So I worked in a dispensary for a couple months behind the counter, realized very quickly that wasn't for me because I wasn't good at being like in the office, like behind somewhere and just interacting. It was great educational. I got to talk and teach, but it wasn't something, because they were trying to get in, get out to the store, right? We don't have time to sit and have a big old 20-minute conversation about terpenes. So then sales was kind of my next natural step. I worked for a chocolate company here in New Jersey. So over an 8-month period, I increased his sales by about $100,000, increased about 20, 25 stores in that time frame. And it was a huge learning experience. They were a small company, so I got a lot of inside kind of back end information about manufacturing in the cannabis world here in New Jersey. Some of the rules, regulations, everything is very regulated, very 52 pieces of paper to pass through to make something happen. But I learned a lot. And so when the opportunity came to move to a bigger company with more products and more availability, I kind of jumped on it. So that's kind of my little progression from teacher to weed salesperson.
Yeah, I think that's I think that a lot of people are trying to transition into the space. So I think I appreciate you sharing that, because people don't necessarily know where to start. And then a lot of people are jumping into the space and holding these huge executive roles and not knowing a damn thing about anything about this industry or the plant. And I think that, you know, given your background and having that educational side, it pairs very well with everything, really, with what the industry offers, you know, and how the growth of the industry can come to be, because it's all education. You know, it's really just information and awareness and how to use it, and how to be responsible, right? Like, there's a lot of people that are irresponsible in their production facilities, cutting corners, doing things that really are ruining this industry. And so that, I think that's all, you know, and it also gives you understanding of what every role is doing, right? I think that's one of my biggest benefits, is that I've worn so many hats in this industry. So I really understand, you know, the back end, the front end, and what it takes. And so that's awesome that you've been able to do that.
Yep. Yes. With chocolate, I was sales. I was the brand ambassador. I was the delivery driver. Like, it was just hat after hat after hat. But like you said, I really learned. So now at Garden Society, I am the territory sales manager. So all of Jersey is my territory. There is a brand ambassador, though, that I have for a resource. So she is amazing. Her name is Izzy. She does an amazing job at educating customers on all of our ratios and our products, and even the way things are made. She actually used to work in the facility. So again, somebody who worked on the inside and now is moving out to the outside. Awesome. It is. She's dynamic and amazing. And like you said, because I know, you know, what happened, you know, I can kind of help the timing. I know it has to get delivered, and then they have to intake and sticker, and then they're going to put it here. And, you know, I can kind of really help kind of manipulate all of that, and then have the brand ambassador put things on sale, run a promo, you know, kind of the whole thing to really get visibility, to get the product moving, to get it into customers' hands. And we really believe once they have it, they're going to love it and they're going to come back for it again. So, you know, that first kind of cycle is just really important. And it is important to follow up with them, right? Because, you know,
all about the follow-up.
It's all about the follow-up. They got 70 brands. And it's not just one email on a Monday morning with your new menu. Right?
Yeah, why aren't they paying attention to me?
Why didn't they answer my email?
I wonder why.
Because they have 7,200 of them. Right. Or it's in spam, right?
Right.
So yeah, so it is definitely a little orchestra of kind of moving parts, making sure everything is, you know, going. I check menus, I look at websites just to even make sure the product images are right, make sure, you know, things are listed correctly. There's 100% a lot of moving parts. But it's amazing though, and I love it.
That's awesome. I know you love your job and what you do in the space, and I definitely admire that. And so what about, you know, looking forward to the future in the industry? What do you hope to accomplish? What are your goals in the space? What do you want to leave behind?
So we just ended, you know, the year just ended, right? And in New Jersey, there's something called the Bud Tenders Ball that happens at the last day or so of the year. They do big awards. So, you know, next year, I'd like to be nominated and win Hustler of the Year award. It's a prestigious award, and it really shows who's been out there moving product, getting brands out. So that would be an immediate goal for this coming year. You know, I want to hit a revenue goal. I don't even know exactly what it is for the year, but I'll say Q1, I'd like to hit, you know, I can't even say a number because I'm not even sure. I want to continue to grow, right? The biggest goal is just to have a higher revenue month after month. So we're gonna go with that month after month. I don't know what I'm gonna hit yet, but
Six figures beyond.
Well, that's what I mean. We're kind of, we're close to maybe that already in revenue, for at least a quarter. So I definitely am looking at six figures and beyond, of course.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, and to be in at least 80% of the stores in New Jersey, and not just once, right? I want reorder, staying on the shelf. That's one goal with Garden Society, but then I have other goals too, right? THC girl goals.
Hey.
I don't know if we even talked about. I am over here repping the THC girls in Jersey. So when you see me, you see Krysta here in Jersey representing. So that is a huge goal. I want to really grow the THC girls brand here in New Jersey and really be able to legit walk in somewhere with about 6-7 people with me, branded up and having a good time, activations, doing some marketing, doing some community involvement. So at least 2 THC Girls events this year in Jersey. And then one more piece, the Best Dirty Lemonade. It's another brand that I work with that is an amazing THC drink. And so that is the other goal that I have, is to infiltrate New Jersey with the Best Dirty Lemonade. So big goals.
Well, I know you're well on your way because you're already accomplishing most of that. So definitely looking forward to seeing you knock everything out.
Thank you. With your support. Yeah, I'm, having the support of the THC girls and Krysta in particular, has been invaluable, absolutely invaluable. And so I'm really excited that we are moving forward with a big business profile and being able to really put the money where your mouth is, taking my own resources and putting it into myself and what I think my goals are going to be, regardless of the brand that I am repping. Very, very excited about that. It's been a couple years coming and whatnot, but I'm in a position where I can do that, and it is time. So y'all about to be sick of me.
Yeah.
If you don't know me yet, you're about to.
They're gonna learn today. No, but that's awesome. Give us your handles, where we can find you, what we should do to support.
Absolutely. So for me personally, Hey Miss Leena on Instagram, HEYMISSLEENA. On Facebook, I'm Leena Trinidad, like my government. That's fine. Find me. Also, please support my brand, Best Dirty Lemonade, on Instagram, Garden Society, GRDN Society, Terpex, TRPX, the THC Girls, of course, the Highly Connected. Find me on the app. Pretty soon you'll start seeing my pop-ups. So I'm going to make sure that I let you all know so you can come support, show up to the pop-ups, come buy some garden gummies. Watch out for pre-rolls coming soon. X products, like buy some dirty lemonade. Listen, if you're my friend, support me. Buy something.
Hey, 100%. Well, thank you so much. I'm Krysta Jones, motherfucking Jones on all the platforms. And thank you guys. That's the T with THC. Thank you so much, Leena.
Thank you.